What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bulk Blends for the Cheapskate. Welcome back to the Shire Shed. I am Sonny. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. If this is your first time here, do me a favor. If you're liking the content, go ahead and like that smash button and hit the subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Today, I'll be reviewing Amphora, Kentucky. Now, this technically isn't a bulk blend, but it is a blend for the cheapskate. It's very affordable. Before I get into all that, do me a favor. Tell me what you're smoking it in. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Amphora, Kentucky. This one is a sleeper. Much like many of the Amphora blends, I think it's a sleeper. It's not one that you might initially think of as being something that's good or even passable. But let me tell you, it is. If I'm trying to kind of ration my bold Kentucky or my old dark fired or anything like that, this is what I go with. And during the wintertime, I smoke a lot of Kentucky blends. Dark fired, bold Kentucky, but this one goes with me every single day to work. It's simple. It's beautiful. It's sweet. It's barbecue. It's not trying to be something that it's not. It's just really good. And for the money, you cannot beat it. Absolutely fantastic. Well, the jar's over there. I'll break it down for you. It comes in a pouch. My recommendation, get it right out of that pouch and into a jar ASAP. Once you open it anyway. It is a little moist coming out of the jar, out of the pouch. But once you get it into a jar and let it kind of work with itself for a little while, it's fantastic. I kind of missed something. I'm having this blend in my brand new St. Patrick's Day 2023 608. Here, let me flip it around so you can see the flag. The flag's colors in order. Wait, is that in order? Hold on. I think the other way would be in order for you, but it's in order for me here. Anyway. I love this thing. And this honestly is it's my second 608. It's the little brother to the 606. You guys know I love my pot shapes. My 301s, 606, 608. 608's basically just a little bit scaled down from the 606. Love it. Well, you don't quite want a big bowl. It's perfect. So, also perfect is this Amphora, Kentucky. I'll tell you what, especially during the late fall when football season is just really going, I'll pack this Amphora, Kentucky in my pub pipe, and it's a guaranteed will last for an entire half of football. Don't even have to get up unless you got to pee or get a beer or 12. this might be one of the best Kentuckys I've ever had. And I'm not just saying that because it's hitting the spot. It always hits the spot. This one is a sleeper, and I mean that in every sense of the word. So let's dive in to tobacco reviews, and we'll also go over to smoking pipes and see what some of the buyers over there have said. So this is actually, it's Amphora, but it's actually made by McBaron and blended by Per Jensen. Amphora's Kentucky blend is a harmonious blend based on more than 150 years of experience of tobacco blending. A large proportion of dark-fired Kentucky is blended with high-grade Virginia tobaccos to achieve the solid and smoky taste of the Kentucky tobaccos. And when I say that this blend is perfectly balanced, it is perfectly balanced. I have yet to find, other than Old Dark Fired, I have yet to find a Kentucky that is this well balanced. It's got this perfect, like, honey barbecue kind of feel, kind of flavor to it. It's obviously it's a Kentucky blend, so it's gonna first hit you with that like barbecue smoke. And again, when I say barbecue smoke, I don't mean St. Louis barbecue. I don't mean Carolina barbecue. I'm talking Texas barbecue. I ain't from Texas, but that's the best barbecue in the world. You're never going to change my mind. Mesquite. Think mesquite. Don't think, But this one, Amphora, Kentucky, it's as if Texas barbecue mixed with St. Louis barbecue and maybe a little Carolina barbecue. It's fantastic. So let's continue. Strength is medium. No flavoring detected. Taste is medium to full. And the room note is tolerable. Once again, can't really speak to the room note because I haven't really heard anybody comment one way or the other. The strength, for a Kentucky, this isn't super strong. It's not going to knock you on your ass. Not to say that there isn't any nicotine in it. It doesn't have a nicotine wallop. It does a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as something like Bold Kentucky or Rustica, even. Like, it's not that bad. If you're the type of person that likes the flavor in this and you can handle some nicotine, not a ton, this would be a great all-day smoke. It has been for me. I've literally only taken this to work on several occasions and only smoked it all day. And I was never disappointed. It's so good. The taste is definitely medium to full. I would say more on the full side. Being a Kentucky, it's going to be kind of more in your face than, a Virginia that's maybe a little more nuanced and not as pronounced in its flavor profiles. Jim Inks seems to think there's maybe a little bit of sugar added as a topping or a casing maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I can't confirm nor deny that. I'd really, really love to get Per Jensen's input on that because I'd be interested to know. As I said, comes a little bit damp. For me and my preferences, I gave mine some dry time, maybe 5 minutes. Um, your mileage may vary on that. I tend to like my tobacco a little more on the dry side. Not super crispy, but I tend to feel like I get more flavor out of when I dry my tobacco out a little bit more. Pack's great. Comes in a broken flake, and it's a pretty broken flake. Uh, Almost like a ribbon cut that they didn't finish cutting. Packs wonderfully. Once you rub it out enough, it lights very, very well. I know a lot of dark fired Kentuckys, they tend to be have a little bit of oil, almost an oily residue on them that makes them a little tough to light at first. This one's not so much like that. It's pretty forgiving and pretty easy to light. The flavor, let's go through it. First thing that hits you is that dark fired Kentucky, but honestly, for me, it passes pretty quickly. Uh, and then it jumps into the sweetness of the Virginias. And I would imagine, because I'm getting a little bit of citrus, I'm getting a little bit of tang, probably some red Virginias in here. There is some sweetness in there, for sure. That mesquite flavor isn't as pronounced in this as it is in something like dark fired or old dark fired Bold Kentucky, uh, or even Peter Stockby 314 dark fired. Doesn't bite as long as you dry it out real good. It doesn't, and I'm not saying real good as in like dry it till it's ashes, dust, but if you dry it out the right amount, you can even push it pretty hard and it's not going to bite you. Getting a little bit of moisture, a little bit of gurgle. Let's see if I can fix that. Overall, this is hands down one of my favorite Kentucky blends ever. For a lot of reasons. Flavor obviously is great. It prepares very well, very easily. Smokes very smooth. It's not harsh, doesn't bite. It's not too much nicotine from what I can tell. Overall, for the money, you absolutely can't beat this one. And speaking of money, currently, as of the releasing of this video, Smoking Pipes has it for $8.45 a pouch. And the pouch is 1.75 ounces. Some of the customer reviews. One person said the Nick hit can be debilitating. Oh no, not for Amphora. I'm sorry, I didn't read far enough. Amphora Kentucky blend has all the flavor without the nicotine bomb. Not saying zero Nick hit, but it's much more manageable than other blends. Yeah. Do the little pipe cleaner trick. Couple hints, couple tips, and this really goes for my experience. Any Kentucky, any dark fired, really. Smoke it in a nice wide bowl. It performs very, very well. It's allowed to open up and breathe. And I tend to get phenomenal flavor. And this has been very consistent. Also, pack it more loosely than you normally would. A little bit of tang, a little bit of tartness. Very little. It's in the background. Red or green peppercorns, maybe. A little bit. Really pick up the sweetness on the retrohale. Really getting that, especially if you let the smoke in your mouth, roll it around a little bit, and then retrohale. All that sweetness just screams. It's beautiful. Overall impression, well, I think you've probably figured it out. I love it. And at $8, less than $9 a pouch, that's give or take, depending on where you are, $4 to $5 cheaper than what you would get elsewhere for other tobaccos or a tin. You can't beat that. And the flavor is phenomenal. This is a great wintertime smoke, a great fall smoke. I've even had it in the summertime. It's perfectly balanced, especially for the price that you're paying. My verdict, go and order some if you've never had it and you want to try a very well balanced Kentucky. If you want to kind of branch out and get into, some of the smokier, not Latakia because that tastes like perfume. I know some of y'all are going to drag me in the comments. Go on, do it. I ain't scared. But yeah, Amphora, Kentucky. Go out and get you some. It's not as cheap as maybe 2 ounces of, you know, Peter Stockaby's luxury Navy flake or something like that. But I think you'll find that it's worth it. This is a blend that I've been really, really looking forward to reviewing. I've seen a couple of reviews from some other YouTube presenters. The one that really comes to mind is Beans 316. I loved his review of this one, and I totally agreed. I don't remember if he said that he's a Kentucky guy, but I loved his review, and it was very well put, very well thought out. So if you want a another viewpoint, go and check out Beans 316 Amphora, Kentucky review, and I think you will be pleasantly entertained and informed. So with that said, I want to thank you for watching. If this is your first time visiting the channel and seeing the content here, I would love it if you would subscribe. That would just mean the world to me. I love making these videos, and I love hanging out with you guys and smoking a bowl. Every once in a while I'll do a live. Did a live on Friday night. That was a blast. Had a few familiar faces in there. It was a good time. Had a really, really good time. Drinking some beers and having some bowls, and it was a good St. Patrick's Day. So thank you for being here. Thanks for checking out the content and the channel. I really appreciate it. And I hope you keep coming back. So, with that said, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. But if you do, don't get caught. I'll see you later.